Good evening. My name is Amanda Patchin, and I'm here to talk about books. On January 1st, 2008, I had a 2-week-old baby, an 11-month-old toddler, and I was the owner-operator of a bookstore coffee house. I had a plan to read 200 books in the ensuing year in an effort to retain my sanity and to avoid mommy brain. The plan was nuts, but it worked. I learned a lot about myself, I learned a lot about literature, and about intentionality. Although I've always been a reader, the kids win every time, right? I've never had such an experience as when I just had a plan. Discipline alters these kinds of experiences. If you think that discipline has no place in your leisure, then you have no idea how it really works. There are a couple of books I highly recommend for you to get a plan and get started. They will inspire you to be more engaged and more creative. Gilbert Hyatt's Man's Unconquerable Mind will teach you to have hope for humanity by telling you about humanity's past. His premise is that learning always wins, and his evidence is simply history. The second book is C.S. Lewis's Abolition of Man. Of course, Lewis is the essential 20th century writer, and I recommend all of his works, but this one in particular will get you going. I put together a list of the books that I think you guys need to read before you can really start to live your life. It's painfully short, but they only gave me 5 minutes. For a more complete list, you can go to my website, which is on here somewhere, and you can be overwhelmed there. The first book on my list comes from the year 397. I know, it's really, really old, but chronological snobbery is common and easy, but asinine. The writings of St. Augustine are an excellent antidote to this kind of foolishness. This book, The Confessions of St. Augustine, are an excellent introduction to his mind. The man was urbane, witty, wise, and he can teach you that there have been ages wiser than our own. Other than the Confessions, The City of God is his other great work. I didn't put it up here, but you really ought to read it, even though it's about 1,000 pages long. It has been said, and I think justly said, that all of Western thought is but a footnote to Augustine. The second book I recommend comes from the Dr. Samuel Johnson. He was a witty and an acerbic man, and this biography by James Boswell captures that. Yeah. Johnson's own work was monumental. The man single-handedly wrote an entire dictionary that stands today as a landmark of lexicography. I know, an exciting subject, but it interests me. Read this biography and you'll be constantly quoting it. Next, the great epics of Homer. The Iliad and the Odyssey have been justly revered for ages. I read the Odyssey, the last book on my list, on December 30th. And I read it in less than a day. No, I promise, I did. It had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I triumphed with Odysseus as I had my own victory, finishing my project. I highly recommend these poems. They're full of pathos, full of tragedy, full of nobility, much like life with 17 poopy diapers to change a day. Next, Austen. Her books are essential. And as it says, real men read Austen. Man or woman, you have to try them. Mansfield Park is a biting satire. Northanger Abbey will inspire you with its wit. All of them are essential. They won't disappoint. They can't disappoint. Finally, everyone needs to read P.G. Wodehouse. The Code of the Woosters is one of the brightest, but choosing a favorite is like picking a favorite star in the heavens. The man was hilarious, and, laughing until milk comes out of your nose is an essential part of life. I recommend that you all read all 96 of his novels and all of his countless short stories. They won't fail you, I promise. They should be on your bucket list, finishing all of them. Finally, to riff on Michael Pollan, read books, read them well, mostly classics. I do have a closing quote from Anthony Trollope, who has the best name in literature. Trollope, seriously. The habit of reading is the only enjoyment I know in which there is no alloy. It lasts when all other pleasures fade. It will be there to support you when all other resources are gone. It will make your hours pleasant as long as you live. Thank you.